Namaskar. In the headlines today, renovation, replacement and installation marked the last fiscal activities of Power Distribution Department of SAIL, Rourkela Steel Plant. And SAIL, Rourkela Steel Plant takes slew of measures to contain spread of COVID-19.
SAIL stands strong with the nation, supplying more than 1100 tons of liquid medical oxygen per day. And COVID Care Center of SAIL, Rourkela Steel Plant extends essential oxygenated quarantine facility to corona-positive patients.
CEO RSP emphasizes on maintaining and further augmenting medical facilities to effectively tackle COVID-19 challenges. And SAIL, Rourkela Steel Plant, to set up a jumbo facility having 500 oxygen beds for COVID treatment. SAIL, Rourkela Steel Plant, achieves best ever specific energy consumption in the year 2021. SAIL, RSP augments supply of liquid medical oxygen. Now the news in detail. The Power Distribution Department of SAIL, Rourkela Steel Plant, acts as a neuron of the steel plant. It ensures availability of uninterrupted quality power supply to all units of steel plant, steel township and fertilizer township. During the last fiscal, the department carried out several installations, replacement and renovation work to meet the requirements of the plant. To strengthen the transmission and distribution network, the department collective carried out the stringing of 220 kilovolt transmission line from MSDS 7, spanning from hot strip mill 2 substation to NSPCL. Two feeders of 220 kilovolt capacity from MSDS to NSPCL were installed and commissioned. The other major jobs executed by the department include the replacement and commissioning of two water-cooled transformers of 16 MVA capacity commissioned at Silicon Steel Mill, installation of new 6.6 kilovolt panels with state-of-the-art numerical relays at MSDS2 substation and LBDS7 of raw material handling plant, and commissioning of new contractor panels at BC5 and BC6 of RMHP. The furnace transformer of 24 MVA was installed and commissioned at LHF2A of Steel Melting Shop 2. New 25 kilovolt traction substation was commissioned for feeding OHE network from MSDS 6. New LED street lighting system were erected and commissioned at Steel Melting Shop 2, Blast Furnace 5 and power blowing station routes through AMR scheme. Besides, Hirakud Gate lighting system was upgraded with in-house resources. The department also undertook certain steps which resulted in substantial savings for the company. Around 24.197 MU of renewable energy had been purchased to offset RPO liability till February 2021. The power wheeling from PTC to the tune of 155.82 MU resulted in saving of 1082.77 lakhs till January 2021. The determined and consistent effort of the department have helped in uninterrupted production and improved performance at all levels. SAIL, Rourkela Steel Plant, has been taking a slew of measures to contain the spread of COVID-19. Massive sanitization drive is being carried out on a war footing at different vulnerable places, both inside the plant and the township areas. The fire services, civil engineering services and public health departments are spearheading the intensive campaign. Besides, extra precautions are being taken at the entry points of the steel plant through which employees, contract laborers as well as different stakeholders enter the plant. Fire services personnel are ensuring the sanitization of the hands of those entering at these places. The employees are being sensitized to strictly adopt COVID-appropriate behaviors at the workplace. Besides, task forces have been performed to ensure the adherence of different COVID protocols like wearing of masks. The violators are being penalized. Extra emphasis is being given to create awareness amongst the employees to stay healthy and safe.
Steel Authority of India, one of the largest domestic steel producers, has been enhancing its capabilities to supply liquid medical oxygen LMO in the country. The daily delivery of LMO from its integrated steel plants situated at Bhilai, Chhattisgarh, Rourkela, Odisha, Bokaro, Jharkhand, Durgapur and Burnpur, West Bengal, has been increased from a level of about 500 metric tons in the second week of April to more than 1100 metric tons per day currently. The company, standing strong with the nation, has so far supplied around 50,000 metric tons of LMO. In the month of April 2021, SAIL has delivered more than 17,500 metric tons of LMO to 15 states across the country, including the states in which the plants are located. Till date, 14 numbers of Oxygen Express carrying more than 950 metric tons of LMO have been loaded for various parts of the country from SAIL plants at Bokaro, Rourkela and Durgapur. SAIL plants have also received tankers which have been airlifted and after loading have moved to their destinations by road and rail. With arrival of ISO tankers, SAIL facilities have delivered these tankers after suitable conversion and modifications at the delivery points. Production of LMO at SAIL facilities are being ramped up by optimizing process parameters. The production and delivery are taking place 24/7 at SAIL plants. It is worth mentioning here that in the first 4 days of May 2021, Rourkela Steel Plant also has supplied 1,187 tons of LMO to different destinations across the country. Since April 2021, more than 3,792 tons of LMO has been supplied from RSP to various states of the country. The COVID Care Center, Sector 5, Rourkela, by SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant for the employees and their family members has been playing an important role in the management of the pandemic. The 108-bedded center extends treatment facility to the affected RSP members. With the surge in the number of COVID-infected persons, it has become imperative to rationalize the hospital beds. While the moderate and critical corona-positive patients are being treated at dedicated COVID treatment facilities such as Spa General Hospital IGH, typically the asymptomatic and those with mild symptoms are being kept at COVID Care Center, which is equipped with oxygen supply, medicine and food. Ambulance service has also been provided at the center. Doctors and paramedics are deployed at the center round the clock for consultation and periodic monitoring of the residents. Notably, under the instructions and guidance of the Honorable Union Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas and Steel, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, the SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant has adopted an integrated healthcare response to the pandemic by way of intensively focusing on awareness, quarantine, testing, tracing, treatment and containment.
In an online review meeting organized on 4th May 2021, Mr. Deepak Chatara, CEO, while addressing the senior officers of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant, emphasized upon maintaining and further augmenting medical facilities to effectively tackle the COVID-19 challenges. The online meeting was attended by Mr. Rajveer Singh, ED Hospital Administration, Mr. Pankaj Kumar, ED Works, Mr. S.K. Behra, CGM in charge Projects, Mr. P.K. Satpathy, CGM in charge P&A, Mr. C.R. Mahapatra, CGM in charge MM, Mr. Praveen Nigam, CGM in charge F&A, Dr. S.K. Hota, CMO in charge, other chief general managers and heads of the Department of RSP. Emphasizing on social engineering to minimize effect of the pandemic, the CEO said, efforts need to be made to influence attitudes and social behaviors on a large scale in order to produce desired characteristics of the people. While elaborating upon the efforts of the plant to ramp up production of liquid medical grade oxygen and expedite its dispatch, he stressed on strengthening safety and other related aspects of oxygen plant. He deliberated on various aspects necessary for ensuring the normal operation of the plant while complying with all safety requirements. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Rajveer Singh deliberated on the arrangement of oxygen made available at SSH and IGH. He also urged the collective to consult the doctor in case of any of the symptoms. Mr. Pankaj Kumar, in his address, spoke about the plan to endure normal operation of the plant. He urged the HODs and CGMs to be extra sensitive to contain the spread of the virus. Responding to the call of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi and under the guidance of Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, Honorable Union Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas and Steel, SAIL, Rourkela Steel Plant, is in the process of setting up a jumbo medical facility of 500 beds in phases with the provision of gaseous oxygen directly from the manufacturing station for treatment of COVID patients in collaboration with the state government. This will be in addition to the facilities currently available at RSP's hospitals, that is at the Ispat General Hospital and the Super Specialty Hospital. The new facility will come up at the erstwhile administrative building of fertilizer plant of RSP, for which preparations are being made on war footing. Envisaged to commence operations in the first place by the end of this month, the Jumbo Center shall have oxygen support through dedicated gas lines drawn directly from the oxygen unit of the SAIL plant. The facility will be helpful in providing treatment to COVID-positive patients with moderate symptoms requiring hospitalization. Notably, the two-storied building is in proximity to the RSP Linda oxygen plant situated at a corner of the plant. The facility will help in relieving the extra stress on the dedicated COVID care hospital, which can focus more on treating critical COVID patients. It is also being planned to add ICU bed facilities in the Jumbo Center in the subsequent phase. Notably, RSP has adopted an integrated healthcare response to the pandemic with intensive focus on awareness, quarantine, testing, tracing, treatment, and containment. Keeping in view the surge in the COVID-positive cases in the area, RSP has been focusing in expanding the health infrastructure. The virology laboratory established at IGH is doubling its capacity of testing, with which daily more than 1,000 tests are expected to be carried out in a few days. Meanwhile, through emergency procurement, the ventilators in the Super Specialty Hospital is getting augmented to at least 100 numbers very shortly. SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant has been consistently focusing on further improving its techno-economics in tandem with the rapid strides in the production arena so as to reduce cost of production and enhance profitability. As a result of the renewed strategic efforts, RSP achieved the best ever specific energy consumption of 6.19 gigacalorie per ton of crude steel in 2020 to 2021. The earlier best being 6.24 gcal by TCS achieved in the previous financial year. The average between July 2020 and March 2021 stood even better at 6.07 gcal by TCS. Not only that, the steel plant clocked the best ever monthly specific energy consumption of 5.90 gcal by TCS in March 2021, improving upon its previous best performance of 5.94 gcal by TCS achieved in January 2021. It is worth mentioning here that specific energy consumption is a techno-economic parameter that signifies the overall technical efficiency of the entire plant. The highly energetic team of Energy Management Department along with concerned departments effectuated many modifications and implemented several enterprising jobs in the last fiscal to improve this parameter. Under the systematic guidance of Mr. Deepak Chatterjee, CEO RSP, and Mr. Pankaj Kumar, ED Works, the team with the help of the associated department successfully modified the blast furnace grid. The effort helped in reduction of specific energy consumption by 0.10 to 0.12 gcal by TCS on standalone and sustained basis. The innovative effort could enable retrieval of about 70,000 to 80,000 cubic meter per hour of BF gas into grid during normal operation of blast furnaces, which otherwise used to be lost through BF5 flare stack. The additional BF gas could be provided to power blowing station and captive power plant 1 for additional power generation at these units. Average power generation at PBS increased by 55% from 10.1 MW in fiscal year 20 to 15.53 MW in fiscal year 21. Also, BF gas was ensured to battery 6 from old BF gas grid during the shutdown of BF 5 to avoid changeover to coke oven gas and preserve battery health. Energy input matrix in captive power plant 1, power generation changed drastically on account of higher BF gas availability in the system. Drastic reduction in coal consumption helped in cost optimization towards coal procurement and also lower carbon dioxide emission. The BF gas yield also improved significantly from 1661 cubic meter per ton of hot metal N meter cube by THM in 2019 to 2020 to 1688 N meter cube by THM in 2020 to 2021. Similarly, the coke ovens gas yield increased from 305 N meter cube by TDC in 2019 to 2020 to 317 N meter cube by TDC in 2020 to 2021. SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant has been making undeterred efforts to supply medical-grade liquid oxygen expeditiously to different locations in Orissa and other states. Keeping in view the large requirement of oxygen in the treatment of COVID patients in hospitals across the country, the steel plant, under the guidance of Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, Honorable Union Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas and Steel, has diligently ramped up production and continuous dispatch of LMO. The plant has also put in place a mechanism for the safe, efficient loading and dispatch of the tankers carrying the life-saving gas. The loading activity, which used to be done earlier in daytime only, has now been expanded, and production loading as well as dispatch is now being carried out around the clock by the spirited employees working in the oxygen plants operating inside RSP. RSP has dispatched 364 tons of LMO to different destinations on 6th May 2021 through tankers. Notably, the steel plant has dispatched 1931 tons of LMO in the first 6 days of May 2021. Further, on 6th May 2021, 4 tankers containing 49.47 tons of LMO from RSP has been dispatched to Haryana through Oxygen Express operated by Indian Railways. That's all for today's news. Namaskar.